We're the ultimate voyeurs, the ultimate peeping Toms. I'm watching this person and this person has no clue what's going on. No one's gonna catch us. And we're getting orders to take these people's lives.
You never know who you're killing because you never actually see a face. You just have silhouettes.
War is negative per se, but if we accept it as a matter of fact, its existence, we have to try to make war as short as possible with less collateral damages as possible, less losses of human lives. And in this regard, drones being very advanced technologically can really be helpful. For instance, you can avoid sending in a dangerous area with a lot of hazards military personnel. You can send a drone via the terrain to explore the area. You can do it also in the air or underwater. For demining, for instance, you can also use drones. You can use them for rescue operations within the context of warfare. So again, it very much depends on the use of it. And as long as drones, as other means used for warfare, are applied in consistency and in observation of the applicable legal regime, I think it's okay. Where there's an excess, then we might have to question the ethical implications.
I'm not in a position to mention exactly the impact it has. This has been debated. The psychological impact, for instance, is a question which is widely debated. What does it mean if somebody sits in an operating room miles of distance away from the battlefield, just like playing video games and conducting warfare from a distance?
They don't have to take the shot. They don't have to bear that burden. I'm the one that has to bear that burden.
There's always been a connection between the world of war and the world of entertainment. The military has invested in creating video games that they're using as recruiting tools.
War is an unbelievably profitable business.
There might be ethical aspects being raised with regard to the victims of drone attacks, because especially where you have a big discrepancy between a very highly technologically advanced country using them and a country being attacked with very basic tools, those affected can feel overwhelmed. You know, there's no way, you don't have a human being you can respond to, and it seems like as if the war was a little bit unfair. But unfortunately, war has always been unfair, even when gunpowder was developed and was being used against populations still using arrows.
I believe the United States of America must remain a standard bearer in the conduct of war. That is what makes us different from those whom we fight.
The United States is violating one of the most fundamental rights of all, the right to life.
There's a large number of innocent civilians who are being killed, and that has to be reported.
There are many states, and the number is increasing, who are acquiring such weapon systems or are trying to develop them. There are, according to some figures I was provided with, there are around 20 states of which we know that they possess armed drones, but they have not yet used them in a specific situation of armed conflict. And there are about 90 states that are seeking to develop or acquire drone technology. Among these countries, there are also some European countries, of course, and there are some European countries that are also already using such a weapon system. Under international humanitarian law, the parties to a conflict or the states that are involved in an armed conflict are responsible to respect the applicable rules and also to ensure that those under their control respect these rules. But not only them have this responsibility, all other states who are also signatory to the Geneva Conventions also have a responsibility to ensure respect of these rules. So,
obviously the focus has been on the United States because they are at the forefront, they are involved in many theatre operations in military terms, so it's automatic to focus on them. But there has been a very strong attention from the military, also from NATO, and NATO launched a research project 2 years ago to test the use of drones and under various aspects, ethical aspects, scientific aspects, and the idea was to come up with a sort of policy guidelines so that states had a guideline to be followed prior to adopting drones and considering various issues. And there were meetings between scientists from universities dealing with robotics, NGOs, state representatives, NATO, and NATO nowadays, well, it's not just the US, it's got the allies and many observer states as well. And the idea was really to take into consideration the worries raised also by NGOs, especially Human Rights Watch. And I think the outcome was in line with many other researches undertaken also by the ICRC, that as long as this technology is being used in observance of the international law, then it's fine. And we have to be careful, however, about the future, and to be sure that the systems are not going to be fully autonomous, that there will always be a human being in the loop, or that if something goes wrong, there will be it could be attributed to states to compensate victims.
The majority of the secret drone strikes that have taken place we have always understood, been carried out by the Central Intelligence Agency.
There is a lie hidden within that truth.